We're very happy to have Janee with us, and she works for Curry Public Library in the children's section, and I think she came here on short notice, so let's give her a round of applause. She'll speak for a little bit, and when we're done, we'll have a short business meeting, and so we want everybody to stay around for that, and I think we'll get done on time. So thank you.
Thank you. So I would like to first say thank you for listening to me for your lunch meeting here today. And also, if you have any questions, I love questions, so feel free to ask questions. But what my role at the library is children's librarian. So I'm unable to answer questions about the bigger events at the library and all of the things going on, because they always have so many things going on. But I am excited to tell you today about some of the children's events going on there. And of course, the children's events affect all of us in one way or another, so hopefully it will be relevant to each of you in some way. I brought some flyers in for our summer reading program, which we start right after school is out, and we try to capture the kids before they go off and just get into summer mode and forget about learning. And actually, I didn't even know quite what summer reading programs were about until I took this job. I knew they were a good thing to do, but I didn't quite realize that they were actually designed to help kids keep learning, keep their minds engaged through the summer in a learning frame of mind. And what that does, the benefit of that, not only helps them to actually increase their intelligence and lots of other life benefits just from that, but also it helps them when they start school again in the fall. So they're already still in that mode. They don't stop learning and actually lose information. They keep going. And so it's much easier for the teachers and the children, all ages, even adults. Actually, we stop learning too if we stop doing learning activities. So summer reading is library's way of bridging the gap of taking a break from learning in the summer. It helps everybody by keeping the mind engaged. So now I'm very passionate about it now that I know some of the nuts and bolts of that. So that's one of my goals, is to reach out to the children in this town and help them understand the value of learning. Studies have been done on that have shown instead of just doing science or math or any subject all summer, if they just read, it covers pretty much all the subjects, because you end up touching in on all of those things by reading. So we are excited to be able to provide that at the library. And one way that we are trying to reach out to the local children by doing that is inviting them to the library. Suggested that we try that, and we did this year. So we had classrooms come in and actually tour the library, and we let them go into our new sound booth, which some of you know about, and they could yell, and they just thought that was the best thing ever. They got to see some equipment working in the technology lab upstairs. We have some 3D printers and laser engraving machines and things up there. And they got to visit Spike, our library tortoise, that lives at the library. He was a big hit. They also got to see some of the prizes that they get. So we do actually, a big part of our budget for the children's services at the library is this program, and we actually reward people for reading. And I say people because it's not just kids, but all ages can do some reading, so we get prizes and things like that. So I feel like I'm rattling on, but any questions from anybody?
I have some questions.
Okay.
Okay, so when does the summer reading program begin, or is there?
It begins on June 18th.
June 18th. Okay.
So it's the first Saturday after school is out.
Very good. And what are some of the prizes that are available to the
So
participants?
we do a regular prize for every, like for example, for every 4 hours they read, they can come in and choose a free book.
Very nice.
And they're great books. We try to get the ones that they're all interested in. And then at the end of the program, if they have finished the program, then their name goes into a drawing for a raffle grand prize, which is a collection of fun toys and learning games and things like that. Yeah.
And you have your own budget.
We do, yeah, just for, a lot of it goes just to this program. So we try to put a lot into it.
Okay. You mentioned earlier, Janee, that some of the kids have never been to the library.
Yes, actually Veronica came to the library yesterday and saw some of the classrooms coming through, and we actually took a vote from the children. Yesterday we had 2 kindergarten classrooms there from Riley Creek. So the whole kindergarten population in this town that attends Riley Creek was at the library yesterday. And of the 40 or so kids that were in there, I don't know, probably at least a third or more had never been in the library before.
Oh my goodness.
So they didn't even know what summer reading was. They didn't know we were there. They were thrilled to be there. They loved, being there and feeling special, of course. Because a lot of our services are for kids there. So that was cool that they got to come in. So we need to do that more.
So how are you going to get them to the library for these summer programs?
Well, one way was having them come in. So a lot of them said, I'm going to go home and ask my mom and dad to come here this summer. It's because it's up to the parents to bring them, or whomever their caregiver is. So that's one way that we'll try to reach out to the community, is by just getting the word out. So please share about our
Do you give
programs.
them their own library cards?
A lot of, I think maybe even all of the students at Riley Creek have a student library card. There's a library at Riley Creek Elementary too. So yeah, but we just don't see them all the time. And sometimes it's just not a regular stop in people's lives. And some people, just aren't comfortable in libraries as adults, so they're not bringing their kids there, or whatever their reasons are. I'm sure there's a lot, but we're just trying to reach the ones that we can. So it's a good question.
Do you still have story hour or some such thing? Why don't you explain
We
about
do.
that?
Every Thursday we have story time where it's actually, I run it as all ages because I never know who's going to show up. And really the books are so great. They're entertaining and they're awesome for pretty much any age. But usually we get in the preschool age children for story time. So we do that every Thursday. And through COVID, we actually did that online. So that was quite a interesting learning experience to be, have a camera, no faces looking at you, just try to pretend they're there. So that was, interesting.
So who reads to the kids at
I do.
school? You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then Darby is there.
Darby is there too. So Darby is a dog. She's actually a trained therapy dog that comes regularly to the library, but she does have a reading program. It's called Read to Darby. And she's just such a well-mannered, gentle presence. Kids, of course, love pets. And on that subject, studies have been done that struggling readers actually excel when they read with a pet. And one of the reasons they think is because it makes the reading experience itself a positive experience. So we've actually seen that and had families just gush about, oh my gosh, my child was struggling and now she's thriving and at her reading level just for coming in and reading to Darby, which is, I'll mention, I should say, to Barbara, her owner, for coming in selflessly every week to do that.
So does Darby get a salary?
I don't believe so, but she's pretty well taken care of. So she's well loved for sure. Yeah. Good questions. Any other questions?
What is the breakdown of the reading program? Like, do they get a prize if you said 4 hours?
Right.
Or do they get to pick their own books and all that kind of
Yes,
stuff?
right, that's a good question too. So for the youngest kid, because it is all ages, and a 1-year-old likely doesn't know how to read, so that's our Read to Me program. And for them, it's just read every day, 5 minutes, 5 hours, whatever it is. It'll be someone reading to them. likely for the youngest groups. We have 5 groups. So for those guys, it's a daily reading habit. And then for every 7 days, they come in and get a prize. And we have some beautiful new, books that fit the ages for that. For the prizes fit the ages for that reading level. And then reading levels 2, 3, and 4 is for every 4 hours you read, come in and get a prize. Up to 7, because it's a 7-week program, so we do go along with the weeks. And then for the adults, which is our reading level 5, that's anyone 19 and older. For every 5 books you read, you get your name in for a raffle drawing. And the raffle is usually a nice, generous gift certificate for a local business.
Do audiobooks count?
Yes, they do. Graphic novels count. Yeah, really good question. It's a great question. Yeah.
There recently was some improvement, wasn't there, to the children's section of shelving?
yeah.
Can you explain what's been going on there?
Yes, we had a donation of some bookshelves. So we had some old dinosaur-style bookshelves that were just heavy, and they didn't hold the books well. Sometimes children's books can be really big or long or whatever it is. And the shelving just was a little bit scary too, because the shelves were a little bit teetery. So we had a very generous donation, and I know that's listed on our website, all the information about that. But we got 3 new bookshelves that actually have wheels on them too, so we can, if we have a larger crowd or have something going on in there, we can move the bookshelves. So that was exciting for us to receive that. Yeah.
How many, like on average, will these kids read, how many books will they read over the course of the summer?
That's a good question, because it kind of depends on the reading level. So the super littles, 1 book might be, 5 minutes. It's a little board book that is easy. And then we have some kids that are just voracious readers and are going through thick novels pretty quickly. So we have a big range of that. And I don't know that we have any records of how many books, but we have, I don't know, we get about 150 or so that sign up. They don't all end up finishing because, summer happens. But that's been one of my goals, is to try to keep them going through the summer. So that's why we have a party in the middle, which if you want to grab one of these calendars, it has a midway party. And that's to just kind of help revitalize the interest in the program in the middle point where people usually end up dropping off and getting too busy or whatever. I know that didn't directly answer your question, but
No,
we have a big variety of readers. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.